Well, we're back out here again. Another project. I think I pointed this out before. Picked this up from a neighbor because his old lady tossed him out and he needed to get rid of some of his junk. And well, who better to end up with it than me? I'm like a junk collector sometimes. But somebody else tried to add on these sides onto it, but they brought them right over the tires. So anytime you put a load on it, the tire is going to raise up and come through the floor if you put a full floor in it. Which I'm going to have a trailer, I'm going to have a full floor. So I'm going to cut all these off along here, bring that rail in to there so that it's as wide as this trailer is. I'm going to leave this extension on that somebody else had added on, and this back piece I'm going to leave. I'm not sure yet. Maybe flip this around and put it to the inside. Maybe just mount the light down low, but this trailer sits really low to the ground. That's halfway up my leg, right there. That's not very far off the ground. So I think the lights being up a little higher would be more beneficial. So I will do that. I was going to do an axle flip, but as you can see, the axle's already on the bottom. I thought they had messed up. See the bolt there? There is no eyelet bushing or anything down here, but the spring is just flat. This just keeps it at the... If the trailer bounces, it can't bounce up and off of the spring. It's got an eyelet in the front, which I'll bring you around here. You can see it there. A bushing for the front end. This trailer does tilt, but I think I'm going to eliminate that and just bolt it down right there. It was I don't know if it was bolted or welded. I think somebody's added the tilt part in myself because it's awful far forward. But maybe not. I don't know. But not everything looks quite like it should. But if I want to hook it behind a car, I need that extra length right there. If you turn sharp backing up, I don't want it sticking out up to here, because that kind of gets a little too close to the rear bumper. So this will come off, move in. That'll come off, move in. It won't have a tailgate, but I'll rig up something. I'll rig up something put across the front and weld it all in and lay a sheet of plywood on it. It's not going to be made to carry a heavy load, a heavy load, but it'll handle 300 or 400 pounds easy. Shoot, it'll probably handle 1,000 pounds, but that'd be maxing it out most likely. But either way, that is my project. I don't know what in the world they did up there. I'm going to have to check that out a lot closer before I actually hook that to anything. See how in the world they put that together. I know they spaced it up so it'll level out, but I don't know that I like the way they spaced it out. And maybe that's how it's supposed to be. I will figure all that out. First thing I'm going to do is cut a bunch of this stuff off here and start figuring out what I want to do. Well, we had a nice rain last night, so I decided good a time as any to get back to work on this thing and get this thing done and then out of my way, so I can move on to, I'm not going to call them bigger and better things, just different things. So let's get to it. I decided to put the shield back on my grinder just for safety reasons. Okay, let's see. Get rid of that. Hearing protection. I think I got a better idea. And one that's much quieter. Be right back. Okay, all things considered, good deal here. $20 DeWalt bandsaw. Took about $20 in parts to fix it. And it's been running good ever since. It's had a hard life, but just about everything I buy has had a hard life. Welded inside and out. quite as easily as I thought, but hey, I'm going to end up having to grind off a bunch anyway. Alrighty. I'm back. Excuse me. So, I'm going to put those rails on. I'm going to cut some angle iron 1.5 feet. Make it stand up 1.5 feet. I'm going to leave that little extension on, just so that this thing will be basically that tall. About 5 foot. You can put a short person on there and have stretch out. So what I've done is I've cut 4 pieces of angle iron here, and I'm going to mount it down here like this, but it's actually going to come over to here where this is at. Drill the hole through it and then bolt it to where the uprights are going to drop down into a slot right there and then be bolted on top of that. It basically just for easy installation. You can take the sides off, put them back on, they'll all be bolted on, nice and simple and easy. I'll weld this to the bottom, and then the other angle iron will just drop in the top, and then you just slip the bolt in and you got it. And then this thing here is going to get mounted to the front, and I'm also going to use those 2 holes right there to put bolts through to bolt the tongue to the frame. As far as it goes, I could reverse this thing and do it the other way around. It doesn't really matter. Except for it would make for a very short tongue then. It would bed it end about right there. And I would have to take that bracket, cut it off, and mount it down there, which I don't feel like doing. Too much work for a little cheap trailer that I will probably end up selling or just using it to haul crap around here. It will hook to a car. I can throw lights on it. I really don't know if I'm going to or not at this point. We will just have to wait and see. So, that's that for now. I'll bring you back when I get further. Sorry about the wind from the fan, but it is 100 outside and 91 in here. But for demonstration purposes only, this is what I've done. I made a pocket for that to set into. I could well, I can do a lot of things, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to drill the hole from the back side all the way through this and be able to drop a bolt through it, and that will keep everything locked in place. Nothing can move. And then the rail will sit, that right there will sit on top of this. But this is a short version. This is only like 6 or 8 inches. And again, bring you back when I'm further along. Well, the little trailer's done. I've even locked the tongue down by putting a bolt through it, which you may not be able to see there. But it is all welded up, bolted up, put together. Don't know what I'll ever do with it. But hey, when I got it, it was ugly, nasty, and the sides that were on it flexed so bad that, well, you couldn't done anything with it. So it's all together and it's solid. Shoot, I think you could use this thing behind a motorcycle. It's heavy to pick up, but it's not too heavy to tow. I can roll it around out here in the yard easy. So that's it. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, tell a dozen, and treat people the way you want to be treated. Makes the world go round a whole lot better. Bye.